Flame Soulmate reading for February. And this is going to be for those of you in separation and who may be undergoing current challenges. We're going to be looking at the Divine Feminine, the Divine Masculine energies here. And we're going to do them together here. So let's have a look first up at, this is the Divine Masculine's energy. Let's just have a look here. What's going on? It's going to focus on these energies here. Divine, well, I just want to fly out everywhere today. Divine Masculine, this is the Greek Mythic Tarot. I am going to be doing reversals today, just so you know. It doesn't have to be a bad thing at all. Just gives me a bit of a clearer picture as to what's going on in your lives. It's the Divine Feminine. Okay, I hope I've left myself some room here. And as you know, I make a mess. So we've got the Divine Masculine with the full energy straight up. I want to see what his main theme is for this month. What is the main theme that this Divine Masculine is moving into? What's the main energy that he's moving into this month, or that he may be carrying into this month? Divine Masculine's main energy. We've got two there. Okay, we've got patience and we've got letting go for the Divine Masculine. There's something this Divine Masculine needs to let go of. It's going to require a lot of patience here for him. There's a lot of sadness, I feel, associated with this as well, with any type of, process of surrender. There is a need to almost like let go of a part of ourselves in that process. It's shedding the old. This could be for a Divine Masculine if they're in a current relationship, could be a third-party situation for some of you. It's going to take some patience for this Divine Masculine to let go or to release himself from that situation. But we're going to have a look further as to what this might be about. It doesn't have to be that. It could be that this Divine Masculine is trying to let go of addictions or old patterns, old relationship patterns, old belief systems. And it's going to take some time and patience. So we're going to have a look at what the Divine Masculine, what's going on for him as well as the Divine Feminine. I want to get the Divine Feminine's main current energy. What is she carrying into this month, or what energy is she moving into this month? Divine Feminine. Whoa, flew out. Okay. Wild energy. This Divine Feminine is going a bit wild. But what it means too is that she's got to tap into her wild nature. She's got to release herself from that which keeps her shackled down. That is that which is familiar to her. She's got to get in touch with her wild child, that kind of energy coming in as well. This is so interesting. And, you see her in this boat, and it does show that she's got to trust in the journey. She's got to trust in this wild adventure that's coming for her, or that she's about to embark on, or that she is in right now. There might be some restlessness with this Divine Feminine. She might be really itching to get out there and live life, and really live life, because this Divine Feminine might have been holding back a lot because of fear. She's just got to come into an energy, or she will be coming into an energy of it's not so much taking a risk. It sort of is, but it's not. It's just following her passions, following her instincts in this. It's the raw primal instincts as well. Just being able to move forward without any fears, just going where her heart takes her, going with where her passions take her. And as I said, getting involved or getting tuned into that wild child energy, not having any cares in the world, just really tapping into her own raw, passionate, fiery energy here. Let's have a look at what else is coming up for each of you, for the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine here. So we're going to see the Divine Masculine's current energy. We do have the Fool, which shows that he's about to jump into a new beginning. It is jumping into the unknown. So it may not be a sudden, impulsive thing here, because we do see the patience and letting go. So yes, there is a new beginning that he's starting to move into. That's his current energy here as well. The Empress. This is towards the Divine Feminine. So he is moving into a new pathway, and looks like he is going to jump in towards the Divine Feminine. And, you know, this could be a Taurus or a Libran Divine Feminine that we're talking about here. It doesn't have to be, but that's just the qualities that are coming through. He wants to move into this balanced energy that she seems to have here, as well as a very maternal, nurturing kind of energy. It's taking him some time to go through a process right now. And so there are things he needs to sort out in his life still. And there are some emotions, some strong emotions attached to those things, because as we identify ourselves with things, we do have a strong emotion attached with that as well. So letting go can be very scary, and that's why it's taking patience and time, and it's a process. But it does show that he has this feeling of wanting to move forward towards the Divine Feminine and have a fresh start in his life with her, or start on that path with her. He does see that she's like this goddess, and that she has this ability to, like, she's got a gentleness to her. She's able to help him grow in himself. Sometimes when we look at this card, it can represent somebody who's just really innocent and naive, and jumping into things, you know, without knowing what they're jumping into. They're just jumping into it, and off they go. And this Divine Masculine has been on a journey already. So jumping into a new path is scary but exciting, and he is being drawn to this nurturing energy of the Divine Feminine, she's got warmth about her. She's got her arms open wide to him. He's got his arms open to her. It's like she wants to embrace him. So he's moving into this energy towards her. That's his current energy. And at the moment, he's not yet in the King energy. The King of Cups is a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. It doesn't have to be. I'll just tell you what they are if this is relevant to you. But it does talk about the quality. So this person could be a musician. We've got the music here. Could be a Divine Masculine who's a musician. Could be a poetic type of romantic kind of Divine Masculine who is very deep. They hold their emotions very deeply. So yes, he wants to move into this new path. It can be very scary. It's a new thing for him. He may not have felt this with anyone before. This shows that he's still not being moved into the King energy yet. He's still feeling like he's trying to get his footing in this. He is trying to trust in just jumping into the unknown, and also trying to emotionally mature at the same time. Through this letting go process and the patience, because that was a chapter that he's still immersed in that. He's not yet let go of that chapter. He's on his way out of it, and there's darkness there, and there's shadows, and there's a lot of lessons and a lot of strength being built for him. So to start afresh into something, he's going to feel quite vulnerable and not so strong, because when we don't know what we're jumping into, we don't really necessarily feel strong and secure, and we don't have our armor on, you know, when we're kind of in a vulnerable position. So he's trying to keep this, he's trying to keep his mind and heart open to this experience, but he's also trying to let go of something that's an old aspect of himself, and he's trying to come into this emotional maturity to meet the Divine Feminine with. As we can see, there's a younger energy here, and the Divine Feminine is like this queen, and so the King, he's trying to come to that point where he can level up with her and be emotionally on her level here. That's his current energy right now, because this other stuff, this emotional past stuff, maybe not so much hindering his growth, but it is, what am I saying there? It's like the new emotions are forming, and he's trying to adapt to those or allow them. He's trying to align himself with the feelings that he is feeling. And because they're new feelings and they might be scary, and he's in a vulnerable position, what he's been used to has kept him in a safe place. So it can be very hard for him to suddenly just be this strong divine masculine who's able to be assured on his path and moving into this. He's not necessarily assured of the journey. He knows that he's being pulled towards it, and he wants to be pulled towards it, but he's unsure of what's going on emotionally. Yeah, once again, we've got the young energy, the Page of Wands. This could be a Sagittarius or the energy of Sagittarius, where things are very, there's a passionate spirit. It's very spirited, there's passion here. And it's moving quickly. And being reversed, it shows that he's not necessarily moving in quickly. We did see this before, that he is jumping into this, but very slowly. And I know that sounds weird, because when you're jumping into something, you do it very fast. But he is going through a process. He does want to jump in. This is where it is. It's like he does want to jump in, but he also knows he's got some stuff to work through his emotions. Now we've got this card reversed. It shows that, once again, a new beginning, moving forward to his passions, something that he's not necessarily doing with the Divine Feminine very fast. One more. But yeah, because this new beginning, he wants to know there's it's solidity, stability. He wants to know that this is his golden opportunity to move forward into something with a strong foundation and something that is of value here to move into. He doesn't want to invest in something that he feels may lead him down the same path that he was letting go of. All right, now let's have a look at the Divine Feminine's energy. Where is she currently at? We can see this wild child going on here, you know, this wild energy that she's got to come into, embrace that part of herself. She's being restricted. Now let's have a look. Yeah, so this Divine Feminine, from what I see here, is that she's not listening to a calling at the moment. She's being advised to. There's something she's not manifesting right now regarding her higher purpose. So she might be going off on a little bit of a wild tangent here, even though she is, able to embrace this, and it is a good thing. There are some positives in this, but there might also be, for some Divine Feminines, that they've gone off tangent, they've gone off this track, they've become a rebel, away from their own true values or their core beliefs and her higher purpose. They might be judging themselves really harshly or moving away from that, diverting their attention, redirecting their path into something else that may not necessarily be good for them, because we do see this card reversed. It's the higher purpose, it's the higher call, it's the calling, and it is about Judgment Day. And so she isn't necessarily manifesting what she wants exactly. She might be a little bit all over the shop here. Yeah, Messenger of Air, communication's not good. This is a communication card. It can be very fast energy. Being reversed, she's not necessarily affirming, because she doesn't have that stable, strong foundation right now. She's kind of like got this wild energy, anything goes kind of thing, she's not grounded. She's not grounded at the moment. She's not listening to her higher calling. She's not manifesting things. She's got the tools and the intuition and the ability to bring it all together, but she's, at the moment, not wanting to deal with it. Doesn't want to deal with it, wants to go off on her own and do her own stuff. Doesn't want to answer to anybody. Has issues with communication. It's closed off to others. And is burnt out as well. So this Divine Feminine has been putting a lot of attention and her energy into things that perhaps are destructive. Not necessarily in a bad way. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but it just shows that she's on a different path. She's gone off into something else. And yes, she has tapped into her wild child, and that can be a good thing. As I said, it is important for people to delve into their passions and follow that. but it may not necessarily be the path she really wants to be on. She might just have to vent some energy, just vent it, get it out of her system, that kind of thing. And that's what might be going on here, is that there is some anger associated with this as well. There is some real fiery kind of energy going on here where she has been rebellious. She has been kind of frustrated and maybe unwilling to work with the divine masculine. And then we've got the messenger of earth. Now, I just want to say, this could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, divine feminine, or an Aries, or a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So it's just for those of you watching, if there's any significant star signs out there, but they can definitely represent the qualities. So we've got the messenger of earth here as well. So she's not grounded on her feet. This is the slowest moving knight in the deck. So it's like slow and steady wins the race. They build and they plan for the long-term goal. And so this is something she's yet to do. So she's got to come out of this rut or whatever it is she's in. She's not seeing things clearly here. She's burning bridges here. And she's been in a place of boredom and once again not connecting to her own self, let alone her own purpose. So there's something she's closing off to in life. She doesn't really want to deal with this mission that you guys perhaps have together or this connection. She's kind of just gone off and thought, well, stuff you. You know, you're taking your time, so I'm going to just go and do what I want to do. And so the Four of Water reversed, you know, this can show that she's coming out of a place that's been stagnant and she will start to perhaps ground her energy. We're going to see, how is the divine masculine feeling towards the divine feminine? Okay, hang on a moment. It's going to come out. How is he feeling towards her? It's so interesting because we saw before that he wants to move into her arms and that warmth space she holds and the nurturing energy, but he's also scared because he's going through a process right now. But it's so weird because she's kind of moving away from him, or she's not on the same path right now as him. So even though she may have her arms wide open to him, at other times, this is something that she's not necessarily aligning with him at the moment. What he feels for her is that he feels a little bit disheartened by the connection. We've got the Lovers reversed, which can be Gemini energy. We do have the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, so this could definitely be a divine feminine who's a Gemini. But we do have this feeling of being disheartened, or that it could be his own journey. It might not even be because of anything the divine feminine's doing. Could be both. What he's feeling is that she's quite aloof with him at the moment. We do see her going off on a wild tangent here, and she's kind of doing her own stuff and rebelling against the connection in some way. This could even be on a subconscious level that she's doing this. But he's feeling this for her. He's feeling that he needs to perhaps disconnect for now because there is this process he's going through. He does want to jump into this path with her, but he also realizes there's issues to deal with and he has to emotionally grow in himself. So he might be disconnected at the moment from her so that he can just process and do the work he needs to do. So he is feeling, because we got an Aquarius, Libra and Gemini energy here. And it's matter of fact. It's all about facts. It's about communication. It's about thought. And what he's thinking at this stage is that he doesn't want to embark on this journey just now. He knows he's got stuff to do. So how he's feeling towards her is that his heart's not in it right now. It doesn't mean that he doesn't have feelings for her or doesn't love her or doesn't want to be with her. His direction and attention is on something else, and it could also be because of how the divine feminine is at the moment. He does see that he wants to invest in this divine feminine. He does actually see that. He feels that. He feels he wants to invest in her, but it may not be the right time right now, and that she might be a little bit cold and aloof with him in some ways. or that she's not emotionally available. Now we've got the Five of Swords. This is the arguments, this is the conflict. So there's definitely been some kind of conflict or tension between the two of you. He's feeling that he can't perhaps jump in, not only because of his own stuff, but because of how the Divine Feminine is living her life right now, or her attitude or behavior. You know, not sort of jumping into that, not wanting to connect straight away with that. So he's finding it really hard and tough at the moment to feel all this warmth with her. And it's interesting because she does have that passion and fiery spirit. She does have that warmth. She does have that ability to embrace him, like we saw with the Empress energy before. We've got the Empress card here. He does actually want to jump into this energy of hers when she's got it available, but he also knows he has to step up basically and move into that emotional maturity with her. So it's interesting because they're both acting a bit childish right now. Not that it's a bad thing, but he's reverted back into this kind of childlike energy because he's still trying to find his way, maybe dealing with childhood issues even. She's gone into this wild child kind of energy. So they're both kind of like in this energy but want to embrace one another. But yes, he's definitely feeling this disconnect and but still wants to invest in her. So he's still invested in her. He just wants to see this be healed. And once again, he's got the Magician reversed as well. So he feels he can't manifest what he wants with her right now as well. It's just not clicking or gelling right now for the two of you. Now, where's the Divine Feminine? Where is she, what is she feeling towards the Divine Masculine right now? Now, this is so interesting. She's got conflicted feelings going on here. My goodness. Patience again. So we've got the Five of Fire. Once again, this is representing that energy that's within her, that's conflicting energies within her. On one hand, she wants to move towards him. On the other hand, she wants to jump off and go off into this other adventure and find herself, you know. That's what she wants to do. She's also feeling that this is the end of a chapter, end of a painful situation. It's the end of a difficult journey that they've shared together. So she is feeling that for some of them, they might feel that, okay, this is over. This is over with. I'm now moving on. I'm now moving on into this journey that I've got no idea where I'm going, and it's a bit restless and reckless. But at the same time, she feels that he is her... you know, he is her soulmate, twin flame, her home. This is the emotional fulfillment, the contentment, the happiness, the peace, the bliss. She does feel that about him, even though she's got these conflicting feelings. So on one hand, she feels like she's walking away, and the other hand, she feels like she's coming in close to him. And this is probably why he's feeling really confused or not sure if he can jump into her arms, you know, her warmth and that kind of space that he wants to go into, because he's not only is he not ready, but he's also feeling these conflicting feelings from her. So the Nine of Air is depression, it's anxiety, it's stress. It's more about anxiety and stress. She's in that mind space right now regarding the connection, and knows that she has to be patient, just as he has to be patient with his journey as well. So she's also got some of her own stuff to deal with, as we can see. There's a lot of conflicting thoughts and feelings going in her. So what she's doing is she's switching from her feelings to her thoughts. It's the logic and the feelings going on here. We've got this crazy energy going on within. It's like a firestorm. And then we've got the Ten of Air, which is that feeling like, okay, it's over and now I've got to recover. I've got this painful ending to recover from. But at the same time, I want this beautiful ending with this person. And so then also switching back to the anxieties and stress of having to be patient on the journey. Is it ever going to happen? That kind of thing's going on in her mind. Now, let's see. How is the Divine Masculine seeing? How is he perceiving her? We did see this. Yeah, how is a Divine Masculine perceiving his Divine Feminine? So we've got the Page of Pentacles reversed. He sees that she's not grounded. She doesn't have these personal goals that she's going towards, which is so interesting because we saw that she's not following her higher calling, her purpose. She might be worried about other people judging her, so she's kind of just gone off on this tangent. He sees that she's not necessarily aligned. Once again, her values, her core beliefs, her what she wants to achieve in life is not right now being pursued by her, and so she's pushing that aside for some reason. And that could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We've got usually this is the, just trying to think, I think this is a Taurus energy usually. The High Priestess is the Pisces energy. This is somebody who's not able to, well, this is somebody who usually is in tune with their energy. They're very psychic. They're very spiritual. They have all the knowledge that inner, this person, this High Priestess has gone down into the dark, this place of darkness, like the dark abyss. It's like she's gone down into the underground, the underworld. She's been there. She's gone into her deep shadow self. What some would call hell. It's the underworld. And so what's happened here is that he sees that she's not tapping into her own intuition, not even just personal goals, but just her own stability in herself, feeling secure, it's also about health issues. It's about body image. It's about looking after oneself. And he sees that she's not really tapping into that particular energy because she's going off on this tangent. So interesting. So he also sees that she's not, once again, priorities are not put in the right place right now. He can see that she's kind of like all over the place. He sees, though, that she has the opportunity or potential to get back on this track and pursue her dreams. She can actually manifest what she wants in her life as long as she's tapping into her intuition and her spiritual gifts. How does she see him right now? I'm going to fix these up in a minute. So this is what she sees him as. So messenger of water, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So this is usually the Pisces energy. Could be a masculine who's a Pisces. We did see a feminine that might be a Pisces as well. But what the quality is of this is saying that she sees that he is the romantic type. We did see that before, that he is coming in to offer her his cup of love. That he might not be doing that right now, but she does see him like this. She sees that he is a sensitive soul, that he is somebody that feels things very deeply. Sometimes the Knight of Water, like the Knight of Cups, can come in very quickly and sweep someone off their feet. They may not necessarily be reliable. But I don't really feel this with this particular divine masculine, because I do feel this one has a very deep sense of, deep past. He's got a deep part of himself, his sense of himself. So with that, I mean, there is a depth to this divine masculine. He's been through a lot emotionally. He's learnt a lot. He may not necessarily communicate it, but he's feeling it. He feels it on a deep level. But she also sees that he can be very immature. He can react in a childish way. Because the Page of Air, which is the Gemini energy, can also represent someone who lashes out spitefully. It's not so much really malicious, but it's kind of like that tit for tat kind of energy as well. Like he may retaliate and come at it from a very emotionally immature place there. The Hanged Man is somebody who needs to sit back and really pause and reflect. And she can see that he's doing that at times. So because there's this depth and there is this ability to lash out as well, she can see that he is conflicted as well on his path. So he feels things he can be very emotional, but react when it comes to communicating, can react spitefully or childishly, and she sees that he needs to step back and just really reflect, receive some kind of a spiritual awakening regarding the lessons that he's learning right now, because he can get fired up, and he can get fired up. He feels things very deeply. He can take things personally, is what I'm saying. So he needs to be able to look within and objectively view something and see the bigger picture to something. He needs to, she sees that he is going to break free from the old patterns, and that's really awesome. So she sees that he has the ability to go within and reflect, and once he does, he can break free from his old patterns if he's committed to doing that. Now let's have a look. I'm going to fix these up for a moment. Let's have a look at, what challenges they're both facing, like specifically. So the Divine Masculine's current challenges and the Divine Feminine's current challenges. Let's do this. So the Divine Masculine's current challenges. We do kind of see this already. Yeah, so it's interesting. So the Eight of Swords is someone who's trying to get out of their negative headspace. They set limiting beliefs. There's negative self-limiting beliefs here. It's a challenge for him to, even though he can come out of it at times, because it is reversed, which shows that it's not as bad, he's coming out of that. He realizes he's not trapped as he thinks he is, because he does trap himself in. He traps himself in, and then there's all these voices in the head. It's almost like stuff from the past comes in, that negative voice comes in, and he feels trapped in it and doesn't realize that he's got the ability to free himself. Now, being reversed, it shows that he does know he's got the ability. He knows how to work through that. But it does show the challenge is that he may easily, at times, because he's still learning, about himself and his past and letting go of old patterns, that he can still go back into this. And so then we've got the Hermit card, which is a Virgo energy. Being reversed shows that usually this is the person that goes within and seeks that higher wisdom, that inner wisdom. It's like a spiritual quest. They go deep within for the answers. It's hard for him to confront himself and face himself. This is the Page of Cups, Pisces energy. This is somebody who's very, they feel things on a deep level. Once again, there is a sensitivity there. This Divine Masculine really takes things to heart. Like, he really takes things personally. He's very sensitive. Very beautiful energy, very artistic, poetic, musical, expressive, but at times when things are not going well and they've got to go into themselves and look within, it can be such a challenge because they're fighting these, what they call inner shadows, inner demons, that kind of thing. And so it's very hard for him to look within and gain this wisdom, because it can be confronting to look within. And to give self-love, that kind of thing as well. Let alone, it's hard enough, it's hard enough giving it to the Divine Feminine, let alone to themselves right now. So they're finding it a challenge to really grow. Once again, we got the Page, which is the younger energy. It's that emotionally young energy coming through. So it's very hard for this Divine Masculine to grow in some aspects, because it shows me, when I see the Fool card and there's other cards coming through with that kind of like that childlike energy, there's definitely some issues from the past this Divine Masculine is dealing with, that's to do with their inner child. And we've got the Two of Wands here, reversed. He's trying to get on this pathway. He's trying to prepare and plan for the path, as we saw before, the Fool jumping in. He's trying to prepare for that. To join with the Divine Feminine. He's trying to get on this path with her. He wants to. But that is a challenge at this time because of all the other things going on. And because he constantly questions if he's doing the right thing. He's constantly conflicted in his mind at this time. Because this is somebody who needs to make a decision. And he's not able to make a decision. He feels stuck. Times he can be stuck in his own negative self-thoughts, beliefs, how he feels about himself, who he truly is. Is he able to give something of value to the divine feminine or the connection? Is he able to get on this path and be the strong king that she needs him to be? Because at the moment he's not necessarily at that level. And the Two of Swords, you know, being reversed, shows that he can find clarity, and he can have the power to make a decision. He can step into that empowering energy where he can take control and can take the reins and the lead, and overcome this crazy energy here. He is kind of like, for some of them, hiding away, feeling sorry for themselves. And that's only an aspect of it. That's only because they feel stuck, they feel trapped, they don't have the answers yet. They don't have the spiritual wisdom yet. As we saw the Hanged Man, he needs to go within. He needs to see the bigger picture, gain that spiritual awareness. And he can only do that by going within and looking at himself, confronting his issues, and seeing the good and the bad all in one. And not just seeing it, but accepting it. That's a huge thing. So what does he need to surrender to? What does the divine masculine need to surrender to right now? Look at this. Surrender to receiving support and love. So he's actually closed off to that because he's not actually finding it hard to give that to himself right now and confront himself and look at himself in the eyes of love. He is finding it hard to receive it. So allow the love and support of others in, rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So what he's doing is trying to get in. He feels this pressure of having to get everything in order, having to be this kind of king energy, be the masculine, be the man, whatever, come in and take control and make everything okay. And he's got to get himself sorted, then he's got to get this sorted. And it's kind of like he's just running away, but at the same time wants to run towards the divine feminine. So it's very conflicting feelings what's going on for this divine masculine right now. So on a deeper level, he wants to be with her. He wants to jump in and not freak out. But at the same time, he knows he's got shit to deal with, basically. He's got his own past stuff to deal with. He's got to let go of stuff. He's got to trust that once he does that, he's going to be fine. He's going to be okay. The new path will be fine. And he's got to surrender to this. Yeah. All right. So let's see where the divine feminine is. What is her challenges currently? Okay. Now, this divine feminine is finding it once again hard to trust in the new beginning of love. She's finding it hard to believe that she can also come into that queen energy where she's strong and, you know, has this grounded, once again we get that grounded energy with her. She needs to be grounded. She needs to be strong. She needs to not let anything sway her. And at the moment, we see that she's kind of like in this wild energy. Now, this may not necessarily be in her physical life. This could be her own emotions, her own spirit, her soul, what she's feeling within. Is that everything's kind of chaotic and wild in her life. She's not stabilized. She's not grounded. She's perhaps not sure where she's going on her journey. It's kind of like it's up in the air. So the Ace of Water is that she's finding it hard to embrace the new feeling that's forming within her, the feeling that she needs to ground herself and become this queen as well within herself, because we do see that she's struggling with this security, feeling secure within herself, feeling secure in love. Maybe she's never had that before. And so it's still a new path for her too. And so we see the Seven of Air reversed. This can be deception, this can be secrets, it can be betrayal. It doesn't have to necessarily be, but this divine feminine has had pain. She's been brokenhearted before. She's had a lot of pain, and it's been very significant and it's been very deep. But being reversed, this is a good thing. I know we're looking at challenges. She has come out of these places. She has come out of this energy, and she has been strong. But this is also a new feeling for her. To go into a new path, to reconnect with this divine masculine, means that she would be giving up all that, she'd have to also trust and jump in and be vulnerable. And so she's feeling it very hard. Maybe some of these divine feminines, even though they are emotionally, reckless, restless, whatever it is right now. So, parts of their life might be very secure. They don't want to rock that as well. They don't want to go down this path of perhaps being betrayed in some way or having their heart broken again. So it's a trust thing on both sides here. Trusting in oneself to be grounded and strong and secure through the process, but also trusting in the other person. So what does she need to surrender to? What does the divine feminine need to surrender to? Okay, she's got 3. I'll have to read them. Surrender your ego. Cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. So this divine feminine, as I said before, there's like a rebellious energy. It's almost like she's rebelling against something here. And she's closing off and maybe even becoming a bit defensive. There's this feeling that she's just like, well, that's not working. I'll just go off on my own path. So it's like she has to surrender this what am I saying? This ego here could be playing a little bit of the victim, feeling that she's hard done by, not understood. It could be that she's misunderstood. It's not saying that this is all bad stuff, but this is the energy she's coming into. She needs to be able to let her guard down. This is what this is. The ego is her guard right now. This is what she's doing. She's closed off her heart space and she's putting on this mask. That's what's happening. So we see she's got to surrender to the magic of who she is. She's trying to be something she's not at the moment. She's a bit lost. But there is this rebellious streak coming through, which is not her. It's the ego. So we all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that comes from just being you. When she is herself, her true self, that is what the divine masculine is attracted to. That is the warmth that he sees in her. When she's like this, she's putting up walls, she's, running away, whatever she's doing, that is not attractive and that's not going to bring him in. So she needs to surrender obsessive thinking. Some of these divine feminines are really in their freaking minds, like all the time, constantly. If you're obsessing about a personal situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. Now, this divine feminine is too busy in her own mind, in her own energy, closing off, not seeing the bigger picture. She's not tuning into her intuition. She's not following her higher calling or where she might need to be. She's gone off track a little bit here. And that's not to say that she's going to be like this forever. This is just something she's gone into for now. It's a phase. And it is a good phase because it's going to show her, sometimes when we move into a situation or an energy that we're not meant to be in or that's no good for us, we tend to realize, oh shit, this is no good for us. I want to go back to where I was. We sometimes need to undergo that experience to realize what we need to be doing and what we need to move back into. So this is all part of the process. She needs to go through this. She needs to lose herself a little bit, needs to find herself again and get back on that track and trust in her abilities. I feel like a lot of divine feminines are they're not trusting their intuition. They're kind of like feel like they're kicking themselves, like, why didn't I see this coming? Why did I allow myself to get into this again? I thought I was in tune. I thought I was following. I thought I learned my lessons. I thought I was following my intuition. I thought I was learning my lessons from the past and I wasn't going to go through that again. And now it's happened and now they're feeling like they're beating themselves up. They're running away. So that could be that obsessive thinking as well, that they're going through right now. But realizing that they do have the power and the gifts to manifest things that they want to. They know how to do it. They've just got to get back into that power that they hold within themselves, and see who they truly are and be aligned with that, not this other stuff right now. Even though we know there's a process that has to occur, they're both going through their journey and doing what they need to do at the moment. But at the same time, they are feeling unsettled because it's not necessarily a path they want to be on. They're feeling unsettled. They're feeling not secure in the connection, let alone themselves right now. So we're going to see, what am I looking at here? What does the Divine Masculine actually want from the Divine Feminine right now? What does he want or need from her right now? Okay, so we see here he needs clarity. He needs to know that it's smooth sailing moving forward. He needs that peace and clarity after the storm and after the arguments or whatever's happened, because the Five of Swords beforehand talks of arguments and conflict. This is the card afterwards, which shows coming out from that. That's what he wants with this. He wants peace. He wants clarity. He wants to move into smoother waters with her. He wants communication to be clear, because before it was all clouded and cloudy and dark and stormy. And so he wants to see this clear communication occurring with her. He wants to have communication with her, let alone it be clear communication. He just wants to have communication, to communicate with each other, to have this flow of energy, excuse me, flow of energy, this harmony coming through, this balance with her. This is the Sagittarius energy here. And it's a healing energy. It's transformation. It's peace. It's feeling. This is usually the twin flame card. I mean, it can come across very strongly with that as well. And he wants this. He wants to temper the energies with her and have it balanced out. He doesn't want this flighty energy between the two of you. He doesn't want the conflict. He wants to come into these smooth waters with her. Have the clear communication, or even a new beginning with communication, because this is the new beginning. Come in with a new idea, of how things can be. He wants to sit down and put it down. He might even write to her, or there might be some clear communication via phone, whatever it is. He wants to move forward with her. We can see him moving forward, not away. So he wants to move forward in that. He wants to heal and repair. He wants it to be recovered. He wants that chapter gone of the pain and all the hard times and the challenges and the distress and the hard journey together of in battle. See the swords here. He doesn't want to have that battle with her anymore. He wants to get to a point where you can be really strongly connected. There's a friendship here. This is, we can see in the card here, it's like a marriage or a wedding or something going on here. They're being celebrated. It's celebrations, really. It's about the reunions and celebration. He wants to come into a reunion with her. He wants to reconnect with her in this loving energy that they both shared in the beginning. And so to be supported by her as well, because that's what friendships do. They support one another. So he wants her to be open to him, to be able to share that energy with him. And he doesn't want to be arguing and fighting anymore, as we see that before. He still wants her to fight for him. He actually wants her to fight for him. That's what I'm saying with this. He wants to know that he's worthwhile, that he's of value to her. And he wants to, this is the sadness and the grief and the heartbreak. He wants to know that after this has happened, once again, we're looking at the Six of Swords, but yes, that's fair enough. We've got conflict, arguments, and lashing out. But this is the deep pain that comes with that. And he wants to heal and repair that. He doesn't want to go through that again. He wants to know the Divine Feminine is genuinely apologetic, that she's sorry. Now, what does the Divine Feminine need or want from the Divine Masculine? All right, so what she needs, interesting, this is a 3 of water reverse. We saw this before with the reunion card here. 3 of cups, 3 of water, okay? They've both been reversed. So she definitely wants that as well. She wants the reunion. She wants to know that there's loyalty there as well. And so they both want that same thing. They both want the reunion. They both want the reconnection, reconciliation, whatever you want to say. They both want that connection. They both want the support. They both want the friendship they shared. They want to celebrate each other rather than fight against each other. And so she sees that what she needs from him is that she needs to, once again, the 8 of Air is someone who traps themselves in through self-limiting beliefs. It's negativity, not believing in oneself. And so what she needs is for him to believe in her, that she's she doesn't want him to see her in a bad way. She doesn't want him to see her as being this flawed person who's trying to grow in themselves and they're struggling. She doesn't want him to see that she's struggling, like mentally. She wants his support in at times when she does start to struggle with her own beliefs about herself, because we do see that she's kind of lost herself on her way. I don't feel this divine feminine necessarily wants or needs this divine masculine to come in and rescue her. It's not like that. What this divine feminine needs is that support. Once again, they both want that from each other. They both want the support, the loyalty, the reconnecting, the friendship, that strong bond that is there. They want to revisit that. This is the twin flame card. Celebrations, it's marriage, it's happiness, it's family. That warmth, once again, she wants to feel that from him as well. She wants it almost like she wants him to validate their connection, because she's been through self-doubt. It's almost like this divine feminine, because he hasn't been at a place in himself to step up, as we saw before, he's still in that kind of like unfamiliar territory regarding moving in towards her, having this life with her, this journey of kind of both coming into that king-queen energy. And so he's feeling it a struggle to meet up to her standards right now. So what she needs or wants from him is for him to validate the connection. She wants and needs him to step forward and believe in her as well. Believe in her. Believe in the connection, because that's what this is about. And I feel like the divine feminine needs reassurance that he is committed. Once again, we got the marriage card. So I feel like what she needs to know is that he does believe in them, he does believe in her, and that he sees the warmth qualities, that warmth that she holds, because at the moment she's not necessarily in that space. She needs to know that he is moving or wants to move towards that, and that he does see the connection worthwhile moving towards and committing towards. She needs to feel this warmth within him as well. The King of Fire is the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. But we've also got, it doesn't matter if you're those or not, but it's just talking about the qualities. So it looks to me that she needs him to come into the king energy of someone who can come through with this warm heart. We have the heart here, someone who's very open and warm to her as well. So on one hand, yes, he wants to move into her warmth and embrace that warm space again. She wants to see this in him as well. Or she needs to feel that from him as well, that he has got this warmth for her, because he may be closed off. They might both be closed off to each other. The King of Water, once again, we did see that earlier on with the Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy, someone who's musical, poetic, etc. They're like a natural healer. She just wants to know that he is also emotionally available to her through this warmth. So it's almost like she wants to know that he's passionate about her still, even though there's these issues going on. Because he might have pulled right back. She's pulled right back. They've both pulled right back. And so there is this need to just still know and connect and know that each other wants each other still, and the connection. And that both of them are going to have their arms wide open with this warm heart, you know. Right, so let's have a look at, what am I up to? What action will the Divine Masculine take towards the Divine Feminine this month? Okay, so the Divine Masculine is not necessarily really moving fast towards the Divine Feminine. He's got stuff to sort out, as we see. He's definitely got some inner shadows, the deep shadow self he's looking at. He's got to really go through his inner demons. Once again, we saw that before. This could be the Capricorn if it's significant to a Capricorn male, or it just is talking about the fact that he is still trying to break old bonds. He's trying to break these addictions. He's trying to let go of a past that has held him tied down. That's tied him down, I should say. Held him back and tied him down. So in other words, that's what he's doing. That's the action he's taking. He's still working on himself. His inner demons. He's purging out the old, the pain from the past. See that? It's that heartbreak, feeling pained, feeling betrayed. There's been deep pain here. So he's definitely going within and sorting this out and dealing with this and trying to let go. It's a process, as we saw before. And this is the Knight of Pentacles, someone who has a long-term goal in place. They got the vision for it. They're moving slowly and steadily along towards that. This is a slow process for this Divine Masculine. There is stuff they still need to deal with. We do see patience. He is letting go. We do see that. He wants to move forward to the Divine Feminine. He's not necessarily in a really good place right now. This is a Leo energy. This is that courage. He's finding it hard to gain his courage to really confront this stuff because this connection's brought up stuff for him. And we've got two energies reacting to one another. It's going to bring up stuff on both sides. And this is what it's bringing up for him. It's to heal from and let go from. So the Knight of Pentacles, long-term, slow-moving goal, moving forward, not necessarily feeling that what he likes, what's being illuminated is really pleasant for him. He knows he has to go through it. But that's the action he's taking. He's not necessarily pushing for the connection right now. He feels on some parts that he has to kind of just focus on himself and just kind of like put the connection to the side at the moment. He's not pushing for it. He might feel in some ways that he just wants to give up on it, because that's what this card means reversed. You know, it's recovery. It's a time for recovery. But he knows he has no choice but to work on himself, because if he doesn't, then he's going to go backwards. Right, so that's the action he's taking, guys, this month. Okay, so let's see what the Divine Feminine's doing. What action will she take towards the Divine Masculine this month? Oh, got two there. So what she's doing, she's embarking on a new path. This is that grounding, something's, you know, putting the foundations down, moving towards something of value. What's this about? Four of Air. She's coming out from a place of, well, we do see she's in this wild type of energy. It's not very calm. So she's going to, well, let me see what the other card is here. Yeah, this is good. She's coming out of that funk, you know, that funk she's in right now. She's coming out of it. She's going to start grounding her energy and come out from whatever she's going on in her mind space right now. She's going to have victory and moving forward. She's going to tap into her, you know, that passion, but in a good way here. She's not necessarily going to be able to give much to the Divine Masculine at this stage regarding herself. She's still trying to find balance in herself. She's coming into this Queen and energy. She might be disconnected. She might be really in her mind space right now, tapping into her intuition, coming into that place of higher wisdom, which is good because we do see that she needs to tap into that to know what to do regarding her own journey, regarding this connection. So it's not necessarily completely detached from the Divine Masculine. I just feel that she's not overly emotional. She still has a warmth for him there. She still holds that, but she's more focused on balancing out her own self, her own life, her own goals, her passions, her personal stuff right now. So neither of them are really moving towards one another. They're both really just focusing on their own growth, their own healing, that kind of thing. Let's have a look at just a clarifier for the Divine Masculine overall. Okay, hang on, guys. So, falling in love, okay? The Divine Masculine is in love with his Divine Feminine. That's just confirming it. He is in love with her. There is a, look at this. There's a special message. You are always in my heart, and there's a burning passion for you. He still has that and holds that, even though all this other stuff's going on. This is what he is doing and feeling for the strong spiritual connection. That's what she feels has happened here. That they've had many lifetimes together, and each time they've come back together, there's lessons to learn. There are challenges to face together. They challenge each other. They bring up stuff from, they don't even have to say anything. Sometimes they just have to be in each other's presence, and it's bringing up and triggering things. Because there's, with divine soulmates and twin flames, they don't necessarily have to say anything. You just know. It's almost like a telepathic type thing. You just know about the other person and where they're from. You don't even have to talk about it, even though we do in life because we're humans. But having that soul connection is very significant and important to the connection. Obviously, you have to be able to connect. But it's because you understand each other, and I think and I feel it goes far beyond our human existence here. For some connections, it might be karmic, that we've come together and it can be really full on. And those people come in they can be very toxic, and they come in and they teach you so much about yourself. And they can leave you feeling wounded and, these are the kind of people that can come in, the karmics. They come in to teach you a lot about yourself, but they also teach you to really strengthen and build yourself back up. And there might be some stuff between the two of you in past lives that you've had to kind of balance out that karma with. With twin flames, it is such a strong, intense energy that sometimes the energy is so intense you can't be in each other's presence. It's just so intense. And because you both make each other confront your own stuff. And twin flames will challenge the other person. You're like a mirror to each other. And you show each other what needs to be healed. Just being there is enough to make someone feel like, kind of uncomfortable. Because not in the normal way of saying that, but uncomfortable because they know there's something going on within that they have to confront and they have to face and they have to deal with. And it can shake things up for another person. Both twin flames shake things up for each other. And it's not always a pleasant feeling. Sometimes, most times when that happens, they run away from each other because they have to go and hide and deal with themselves and confront themselves. But it is a good thing in the end, because when they trigger past pain, they are allowing that person to confront themselves and go through the process of healing and eventually surrendering and releasing all that they don't need anymore. So they can learn to grow in themselves and become stronger, and that is the twin flame mission. That is the twin flame purpose. So she knows they've had many lifetimes together. With divine soulmates, it can be very similar. There's a very strong companionship. There's a very strong friendship there as well. That can be for twin flames. But with divine soulmates, it's more about friendship, companionship. There's not really a lot of challenges that come up as intensely as a twin flame connection can. They do still arise. Soulmates usually stick together and deal with the challenges together. So it's very different, but, each connection is special in itself and has its own purpose. Now, this is what she's saying. Through my lessons, once again, we're talking about lessons, I've become stronger and wiser. So this divine feminine recognizes that this divine masculine is triggering past stuff within her. She recognizes there's been many lifetimes together for her to sort out this stuff. And she's realizing, even this is a deep cellular level. This is not even, this is, when we're talking spirit, this is spiritual stuff. This is not just physical stuff. This is many lifetimes of pain and challenges and stuff to work through together. So even on a very unconscious level even, this is what's going on, and they're not even aware of it sometimes. They're just feeling these things and they don't know what the hell's going on. So through my lessons, I've become stronger and wiser, and that's what's happening for her. Now, I just want to see the Rumi card we've got here. The Rumi card. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm being told to do something else. Hang on a moment. Another thing's coming through here. So I've just got to quickly work out what's going to happen. Where will the divine masculine actually be during this month? What is a temporary outcome regarding all this stuff? We did see that this is the action he's going to take, etc. But I want to see how he's going to be in himself as a whole in this month after he does that stuff. So he's going to feel a bit burnt out, going to feel like the world is on top of his shoulders, but it is the end of that drama and confrontation or battle that he's had to endure within himself. It's that inner conflict he's coming to. We did see he's dealing with stuff. You know, there could be some anxiety arising for him at this time as well. But at the same time, So, you know, guys, through every loss, every grief and sadness, every mourning that you've been through, your heart grows strong, ready to ignite into new life, into the dance that is not the funeral procession, but the rite of spring. So your heart is ready to leap with new life, to be infused with the joy of innocence and the passion of deepest devotion. You must you must trust your heart to lead you, and guided by your inner voice of love through all that could possibly be, know that you are safe, and this heart, your heart, knows the way, and you follow it faithfully now into the light of a new day. Through sacred grace, so be it. That is such a beautiful message, and it is so relevant to what we were just talking about, guys. If you need to re-listen to that, re-listen to it to let it sink in, guys. It's just so beautiful. There is healing. There's transformation occurring. This stuff seems like a dead end. It seems like it can never be overcome, or you never can turn away from this pathway, but you're meant to go through it, to transform it, to be like the phoenix who rises from the ashes into a new beginning. And so be it. Love and blessings to you.